back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 2 of tonight's PUBG EU Pro Scrims. My name is Jorisar. The date is Thursday, the 9th of February, 2023. And we are moving into the skies over Miramar one more time. Team Solo have taken an early lead, an 11-kill chicken dinner to start things off. Looking pretty sweet for them. But it's all about consistency now. Will they be able to do it across the rest of Miramar and then Erangel as well? 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock plane path once again, very similar to the first game. As you can see, the team logos appear to have been fixed now. We've sorted it all out, boys and girls. Everything is awesome. And you guys are all part of the team. We have a little bit of a disagreement over a vehicle, but it looks like Stardust is going to grab that instead of question mark. That's all good. They have got the east side of Crater Fields and La Cobb. Apocalypse is looking like he wants to go ahead and grab one as well, which is fair enough. Los Leones looks busy. We've got the Woo. We've got Solo. AfterAlt appear to be here with Soniqs. Mime wants a car. Klim wants a car. But only one of them gets a car. Oh, Klim has given it up. Soniqs will take the vehicle. Circle has popped. A very different circle to game number 1. Very, very, very different. And AfterAlt's going to be reasonably pleased with that. Danny Mon, not happy that the vehicle's gone, but at least AfterAlt are in a decent location. Possibly racing towards some prio compounds near Impala, so they can go ahead and get looted up. Things looking pretty relaxed for them, I have to say. No one really complaining or being on top of each other otherwise by the looks of things. There is a member of Team Solo who's relatively close to Ibi in Los Leones, but Los Leones is huge, guys. Wouldn't worry about it. AfterAlt have indeed taken Impala and the surrounding areas. This brick building and this set of brick buildings is often reasonably popular. Aiden will go ahead and get looted there. I'm sure he will be completely and utterly fine at the end of this. Where else? Poor Austrian Force. Alcantara, Trailer Park, Zoka Silence, Misa, and Vashku have got the furthest to travel of any team here. That will be slightly frustrating for them. But when your team is used to picking a loot spot close to the edge of the map, like if you're Zarki looters or anything like that, you're also quite used to it as well. So it's not like, you know, it comes fairly naturally for them. They should be generally okay. Team Solo have now moved out towards... are we staking a claim on a hot dog compound this early? It looks like we are. Oh, they should be relatively looted up. They started in Los Leones. If they loot quickly and get over there, they should be able to get the mountaintop and that compound relatively fine without incident. 3.5 minutes now. And where are the people in cars? We don't have that many early rotators, to be fair. Entropic on the edge of circle already. They're inside phase 1. They'll probably want to go for these compounds. I don't think anyone's going to dive into Los Leones unless they feel like they have to. Where else have we got? Win or Die are properly on the move. Excellent. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they have in store. How deep into the circle will they go? I don't think they'll stop at Graveyard. I think they might, like, stop for a couple of seconds, maybe to have a bit of a lookout. But their objective here is not to stay on Graveyard side of edge of circle. That much is for sure. Straight past Graveyard. Go on. Through the Vamos gate. Yay! All right. I appreciate you guys. Oh, no, that's a rock. Dodged like a champion. Don't tell me you guys don't play these games in ranked, because I certainly do. Oh, Luca Rooks, what are you doing? Luca Rooks going for the mountain goat approach. Oh! Ibby is relatively close by, listening to the sounds of the bike, the sounds of someone desperately trying to get on top of a mountain. The rest of Entropic are not here, so they do have to be a little bit weary. Oh, there's a slight question around question mark. We don't talk about that right now. It's fine. Accidentally smacking a teammate there, but there's no team to punish them for it. AfterAlt have decided to try and thread a needle. That's not going to work, and PCIFIC Esports are actually behind them. They've realized that this might be a bad idea as well. Alya gets a second. Crosscow now making a run for it. If he can actually get to Bluffist, Bluffist is basically asking, look, I don't think I'm safe here, guys. And he's not. This gentle slope makes Crosscow, unfortunately, a big, big target. Not good for Pacific, but at the same time, NaVi just taking names. Example, looking for a little bit of Soniqs. We'll find just a little bit of them, unfortunately. Not much else to write home about at this point for the boys in yellow. Most teams now making their way safely into zone. FaZe Clan could come up towards the rear of toxic players. That could make things a little interesting. Just a little, though. Atex on the Mini 14 thinking about it. And Gustav deciding against. AfterAlt, by the way, instead of rotating here through the NaVi sort of channel, they've gone down via the coast, and this time it's Crosscow who manages to get a point in rotation. It's Hibako who went down. So Bluffist has gone down for PCIFIC Esports. You've got Hibako who's also gone down. Rotations here getting a little bit tricky for the teams. We are basically, what, 20% of the circle, water and islands after all. So the tiniest bit of acceleration on phase one, nothing huge, but every little helps, especially when you've got one section of the circle where there are loads of players, although they're actually quite well split out at the moment. Luca Rooks has his King of the Hill lookout spot. Not sure what intel he's feeding to the rest of the Entropic team so far, but he seems relatively undisturbed by the Wu nearby. Spot the team that is Allen Oil, being very close, taking the concretes nearby. But again, Entropic aren't exactly looking to push in. So it'll be interesting to see how Entropic choose to use Luca Rooks and the information that he provides them when the next circle is revealed. I feel like a lot will become apparent once that ends up happening. Spyro for Twisted Minds is on his lonesome outside of La Bendita. Making noise and basically trying to stop people from coming in. So this is... Oh, pardon me. This is... If there's any sort of hard shift and Spyro's position is good, we want the rest of the team to be able to push in. We don't want there to be much resistance. Speaking of resistance, that's Stardust and MTB not offering up very much against Twisted Minds. Sadly, was too busy driving, unable to shoot back. And Twisted Minds effectively pick up that point for free. It's going to go to Perfectix. Oh, and Lou there with one bullet left in the SLR in the chamber. Just imagine what would have happened if he had 20 bullets available and he was busy shooting that driver who was reversing. He might have gotten a knock out of it. We never know. I'm watching for what the story is with Twisted Minds rotation. There must be a reason they had Spyro. Okay, it's gone far south. East of Los Leones is the center of phase 2. This is going to be big. Spyro is also going to be moving. Twisted Minds will not be stopping there. Everybody's going to be making a move. Allen Oil dive into Los Leones. AfterAlt have actually chosen to stay put. They're busy giving Crosscow a hard time. Oh my god. That's a hard time and a half. Okay, Crosscow's just gonna stay put, guys. He ain't gonna do much. The Woo coming straight into solo. So said. I think takes out a tire on the back of that motorbike, but no players. Yestolosh getting peppered. Seasoned with both 5.6 and 7.6 ammo there, thanks to Team Solo. But is able to continue driving and rotating. Be able to go all the way around here. I mean, there's not really much for them here. I suspect they could end up staying where Biestolosh is right now. Up top, we've got Win or Die still to come in. Stardust will be making their way in soon. Question mark as well. Moving up towards Crosscow. Oh, this is an interesting view. Not gonna lie. But here we can see Phil First coming straight in. Crosscow happy to play it quiet. Doesn't want any trouble from Question mark. If Dante goes by as well, Crosscow will be relatively in the clear. It looks like he is. Excellent. Oh, Stardust. Celtic. Is he the last player alive? He is. Making an absolute chicken run for it. There's nowhere that's safe at the moment. And Celtic down to 1. We've got Toxic players in the Woo in the same compound. Ibby and co have all 4 of their team left alive. Julian is down and April is far enough away to be irrelevant in this fight. Where's Blazor and Sound? Oh god, they're nowhere close. Okay. I think April just needs to get the Blazor, if I'm being perfectly honest. Nice and chilled out. Joges and NaVi for Primal have gone down. Sumo and Dunlopper will therefore pick up the reins and attempt to get into circle, try and get into some vaguely central position. This actually looks okay for them at the moment. I believe their vehicle is adequately protected. Question mark pushing past a compound that is held by FaZe Clan. Gustav is here on the cliff. And Phil First has actually parked himself up top. This could end up sparking a confrontation between Question mark and FaZe Clan. I feel like Phil First understands that someone is in this compound because FaZe Clan are just quietly pulling up right now. Oh, hello. Not so quiet anymore. This is problematic. Phil First looking outside, looking inside. Won't be able to get everything down. That's Dragon Pump. Slowly bled out, but unfortunately not to 0. And Phil First will bow out of the game. Fex. Also in the next compound along on the opposite side of it to Hoba. So again, I don't think Question mark have seen or heard that there's a member of FaZe Clan here too. And that could spell disaster. The footsteps have been heard by Fex. I don't think Hoba knows anybody's here. FaZe Clan have the option now to pick up a second. And there we go. I think it was Gustav who confirmed that, yes, we headshot him. Push in now. Fex goes in, grabs the point. Delightful stuff from FaZe Clan. Next circle. Oh, no! Oh, we're going into Los Leones. Twisted Minds has dived in. Win or Die and Entropic on the north side of Los Leones. Ainen is... That's not going to be good. AfterAlt eliminated from the game. Going past Soniqs, but a little bit too close, unfortunately, as they take him out. Everyone's going to be dogpiling, and this is going to be... let's just say... I'm going to need a new graphics card to handle this at the end, especially if it becomes a smoke fest as well. Not AfterAlt, I beg your pardon. Austrian Force have spotted the Woo trying to come in. This is from the south side, and they want to stop the Woo coming in the first place. Once you've cemented yourself inside Los Leones, you don't really want to be going building to building and fighting those CQB battles. It's much, much easier if you can pick off your enemies with DMRs from range to begin with. And the Woo at the moment are held at bay. Ibby's actually already inside Los Leones, but the rest of the team struggling just a little bit. Thanks to the Austrian Force shots that have rung out across the map. Here comes the next send. FaZe Clan themselves will be moving in through the east side. Who do they have to go through? Primal to their north if they're not careful, but really they don't have to deal with anything until they get the toxic players by the looks of things. And they have got the option of rotating all the way around to sort of this 8 o'clock position, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock here, which might actually be free. You know what's not free though? This compound. Sumo jabs. Oh, Sayari. Sayari must have an idea that maybe someone's here, right? You gotta be thinking about it. Sumo jabs. Inside the ground floor of the hot dog building, waiting for Sayari. Sayari might choose not to move, actually, from this double story. They know it's danger. Bombilovo on top of one of these rocks, playing the oversight position, but I think with no idea that someone is right there. So if he comes down, Uba is waiting for him. NaVi, Solo, and Primal are in a very awkward three-way fight right now. Circle very much inside Los Leones. They are going to have to move. They will not be able to survive in this position for very long. And FaZe Clan in the meantime. Toxic players have moved in as soon as the circle started shrinking, so FaZe Clan were able to backfill. So that's the reason why FaZe Clan and Toxic players haven't had a fight yet, but they are quite close to each other as far as the larger map is concerned now, so it will be on their radar for sure. Twisted Minds might not be in a position to res Spyro if I'm being perfectly honest. Feynotto, make sure that that is not actually possible. Eddie Q and Party Beetle also very, very close by. I need very much closer to street level than Twisted Minds are. Win or Die coming up on foot quite close to MTB Esports on the north side of Los Leones. They could end up accidentally right next to each other, if not on top of each other, before they start shooting. Verticality of Los Leones will play a big part here in who sees who first. UgaBuga now properly moving in onto Soniqs, and they're not letting go either. Tiggleton trying to buy himself a bit of time with the Molotov, succeeds in doing just that. That should allow him to get Shrimsy back up. But that still means they're effectively a duo, provided Shrimsy can get meds together relatively quickly. Good nade from Diggory sends Tiggleton down to 45. Still looking for targets to shoot before deciding to med. Beautiful follow-up grenade. Not quite cooked enough, though, and Tiggleton's able to get away. Oh, that's another fantastic grenade. That could be enough. No, down to 13 health. Shrimsy holds the stairs, buying Tiggleton time to heal. This amount of pressure is frustrating to deal with at the best of times. T-Bone and Beamy will be telegraphing the information that Tiggleton is upstairs. Tiggleton down, traded out for Diggory. Vard potentially moving in. That's Beamy with that shotgun. Speculative into the smoke. Vard down to 63 hit points as a result, though. And Vard stays downstairs. Phase 5 puts them right at the edge, by the way. We've got the southern half of Los Leones, more or less inside Phase 5. MTB Esports, Twisted Minds, Win or Die. This is a very rough circle for them. Not to mention Entropic as well, who feel like they're safe, but they're actually so far away. And when they get into the edge here, there'll be other teams already on top of them, which makes it very difficult indeed. Shrimsy and Tiggleton still upstairs. 4 frag grenades from Vard. Jumps down. Tiggleton with the big plays. Tries to get into the side room to reload, but Buga will not give him the time. T-Bone and Diggory still up for UgaBuga. Shrimsy defending here. Flashbang and push out, but T-Bone was ready. Flashbang exploded while he was still around the corner, and he had pure full sight of Shrimsy going down the stairs. UgaBuga then will be able to get Vard back up. They're up to 4 kills now. And 3 players were left alive at the end of this. However, third partying has begun. Win or Die have decided they would very much like to be a part of this fight. T-Bone getting a grenade more or less rolled up into his face. And whiffing that first spray while letting others know of his position is tricky at best. He heard the click from the gun, which gave Hyruzen away. Ideally, he wanted the flash so that he could move around the corner and feel confident he's not about to get shot at through the smoke. T-Bone can't do that now, though. Meanwhile, Vard upstairs, Hyruzen and Leosh downstairs, T-Bone literally next to them. T-Bone moves around the corner at just the wrong time. Vard trades, though. Now 1v1. Win or Die versus solo. Micro Uzi getting deployed now. See some interesting array of weapons here, but we are about to get into close quarters combat. Very likely to be an urban finish as well, so... Ace and Uzi, not necessarily a bad combination. That's Vard down and out, so Win or Die wins this micro fight. They will have to ponder against Team Solo. No, they won't. Sosed gets taken down as well. So Leosh up to 3 kills. Win or Die up to 4 overall. Where do they move from here? The Wu have exited this fight to take up residence in the center of the circle. MTB Esports going down in the north paves the way for Alan and Oil, just to have Alan and Oil. Yeah, why not? Just to have a nice little channel here into where the Wu are. And the Wu aren't necessarily going to be looking north because they're worried about Austrian Force. They're worried about question mark here. Crosscow finally going down to the hands of FaZe Clan. Remember, he was solo for so long, managing to get a couple of kills on rotation as well. But his part in this game is now over. Vashku has questions to ask. And unfortunately, Misa and Zocker, based on where they are, probably won't be able to help him very much. There's question mark. There's Entropic in between the two halves of the Austrian Force team. So they're effectively playing this out as a solo plus duo. The Wu very happy with their positioning. 2 kills, all 4 alive. Decent utility. Really good position. Very active when they want to be. They by no means have won the game, but it could be very, very close indeed. Gustav gets taken down, and this time will properly get taken out. Question mark there with an excellent initial frag, meaning that is Fex the last one standing? He is. That car's going to blow, not going to work very well, unfortunately. And FaZe Clan getting caught out from Entropic in the other angle. That's rough. We've got question mark on one side and Entropic on the other. Leaves FaZe Clan with no room and no place to go. Alan Oil now trying to sweep up. They know that Austrian Force are nearby. They know that Entropic are nearby as well. Party Beetle thinks about using the frag grenade to flush. Doesn't normally happen that way. Delightful spray there from the AK from Party Beetle. Alan Oil up to 5 kills. Doffy has gone down. Everybody else still alive for the team. And in 20 seconds, we will find out what phase 7 is going to end up looking like. Plenty of places to run and hide, actually. Just not for long. Here's next circle. Let's find out where it's going. Not too exciting, to be fair. The Woo are still happy. It's a little bit of a 10 o'clock hard shift. Toxic players and Celtic from Stardust are going to be slightly annoyed about this. Celtic is at least into the placement points. We're into the final 8 teams here in game number 2, so they're not doing too bad. But if you're waiting and you're fighting this hard, you kind of want more than just a single point to compensate, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Misa gets an excellent spray onto Dante. Oh, a doozy comes back out as well, rather than going for the insta revive. That was a strange thing, but a doozy should be able to get Dante back up. Maybe he thought they were being pushed. Not sure. Righty-ho. Toxic players making their way in. Stardust making their way in. Basically the main stories right now of this game, guys. They've got 1.5 minutes to do it, though, so it's also relatively chill. This is phase 7, so the amount of damage being done every second to anyone who is outside in the blue is huge. You do not want to be in it. Not at all. Not one bit. No one's being gate-kept outside of the circle, except for Stardust, but I don't think anyone is specifically looking at Celtic right now. Toxic players making a move. The Woo have spotted them. Nixie with some slightly filthy angles there. And Toxic players are quite close by now. They've got the concrete literally next to the brick building where the Woo are. Win or die, get eliminated. They'd Allen Oil on one side and Toxic players on the other. Now it becomes a question of who is essentially going to win the fight that leads into fighting the Woo. I feel like Allen Oil and Toxic players might end up shooting each other. It's possible that the winner of this fight takes on the Woo. Toxic players still in. The Woo still in. Allen Oil are not going to be happy with their position. All quiet on the Western Front. Entropic holding out courtesy of QB and Nailup. They're playing a relatively defensive game, but they are down to 2, to be fair. Kind of makes sense, right? 17 players left alive. Survive a couple of minutes, have a couple of skirmishes, and before you know it, you could be in top 3. Makes a big difference in these urban finishes. Circle kind of a donut. The Woo still in, but definitely not centering on their compound, on their building. I say their compound. Everyone's in the same compound at this point. Circle now starting to close. Again, only really Stardust affected. Allen Oil. They have got effectively the other half of this town they can use, but they're choosing not to use it for whatever reason. They should be able to find a way to move straight in instead. My concern is whether Toxic players or the Woo will see them as they bridge this gap. Party Beetle here with the AK. Refreshing to see differences in opinion between the guns amongst the pro players as well. Toxic players have been spotted. To get away from them to cross the road? Don't think so. April, Blazor, and Sond. Oh, they've got questions to answer. And this is phase 9 as well. This is going to hurt, guys. Son goes down. Molotovs will ensure that no follow-up is possible. In fact, he was holding a grenade himself. That's Son down. April and Blazor ready and waiting. Blue Zone now properly taking them out. Are you going to vault into the Molotov? Blazor goes down. April gives it a go as well. Not going to work. Biestoloch there. The fire will actually pick up quite a lot of kills. Biestoloch is up to 2. The Woo up to 5 with all 4 players left alive. And they're in the top 5 teams as well. Allen Oil were the team that could apply pressure essentially on anyone in the circle that they chose. So if the Woo were going to pick a fight with them, it's going to be very important that they finish the fight quickly. Negotiating your utility to fight multiple teams is also really tough for these guys as well. It's easy when it's like one team and the questions are like, are they 3 or are they 4? Whole nother proposition when everyone is world class and might not even be EU. Question mark out. A doozy. Last player standing. That leaves the Woo again with all 4 left alive. And Tropic 1.5 right now. Austrian Force have got 2 and Allen Oil has got 1. Remember in game number 1, we had Team Solo take home the honors. Let's see who does so here. And Tropic now down to 1, unfortunately. Just Kubi. Yes, the Losh finishes him off. That is it. And the Woo are now looking like they are going to win this game. Misa, the last player to be taken down. Quizzy and Nixie doing a phenomenal job. 11 kills for the 2nd game in a row is the total of the winning team. The Woo, ladies and gentlemen, will take home the chicken dinner. They're in first place with 11 kills. In two kills to second place, we've got Austrian Force. And then 7 kills in third, we have Allen Oil.